What is good, everyone? I am DJ Whippopatomus, and you are listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. We are a student-run, nonprofit radio station based out of North Carolina State University. Here with me today is local artist St. Michael of Durham. What's good with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners out there?
My name's St. Michael. Could also call me Sean if you want.
All right.
That's what my friends call me. But yeah, I live in Durham and been living there for over 10 years now.
Oh, yeah.
And was born in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
But been living in the area most of my life.
Tough.
And yeah, I guess I do kind of a niche form of hip hop,
For sure.
kind of like an alternative hip hop, and also like to call like alternative pop kind of stuff, like dark pop. Kind of a blend of that.
Facts. Yeah, you have a really unique sound. I really enjoy listening to your music. It comes off as very raw. I appreciate the vulnerability. Dude, that's really like an element I've been looking for in my music lately is the vulnerability part. It just hits different.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one thing that St. Michael really highlights is the lyrics. It's something that I like to talk about. Is I've been writing lyrics since I was a kid. I'm 34 now, so I'm getting up there.
That's tough.
But yeah, like I was
about
saying,
to ask you, how long have you been making music?
Yeah, most of my life, as long as I can remember. I remember growing up or finding some old letters that my mom had actually sent to some country music labels like back in the 70s.
Oh man, what?
And where she was like writing songs and stuff, and I found those at a
okay.
really young age.
Oh wow,
Along with
that's dope.
Yeah, so she was into songwriting when she was growing up,
Yeah.
and that kind of inspired me. It's one of those things you don't realize until later in life. You look back and you're like, wow, that was actually a really big moment.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, that kind of started the drive for that. And my dad was, in choir, in the church choir.
Tough.
It's kind of where like St. Michael comes from too.
Right.
Definitely had a pretty strict religious upbringing that.
Sure.
Once I got into middle school and high school, I started rebelling against pretty hardcore.
No, I feel that.
But yeah, that kind of gave me a lot of, super into spiritual and religious imagery, art.
I love that.
And just like religion in general. And that's kind of a big thing with the project as well. Super inspired by all that stuff. And then, back to writing lyrics, which is one of my favorite things to do. It's how I relax,
Yeah,
I
that's dope.
get tensions out that way.
Kind of like a release.
Yeah, it's definitely a release, for sure. And I've got, 5 tracks out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just been writing a lot lately. Got almost 30 tracks right now.
Oh man, okay.
I got a whole album, like a 14-track album with one of my buddies, Monsters Are Myth. Shout out Griffin.
For sure.
He's also one of my producers and main collaborators. But yeah, so we got an album coming out later this year, and then I got 2 EPs and a handful of singles.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
coming out within the next year.
Yeah, that'll all be out at some point this year.
Do you have a name for any of those yet?
The working title for the album is Sacrilegious.
Okay.
And then one of the EPs is called The Grand Illusion.
Word.
And the other one is called Here Comes the Sun.
Okay. So you got 3 projects you're working on right now.
Yeah.
So you've been busy.
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah.
3 multiple producers too.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, because like you said, you only have 5 songs out right now, but they're bangers.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I really love the production and the qualities there. Like, you can tell you really know what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a minute, so I think it's just kind of like
Right.
the last couple years, actually, once our lovely pandemic hit, went into quarantine, and I had just been like working, 60-hour weeks, working in the live concert industry and in production and just grinding out hours.
Yeah, it must have been crazy working in the industry during the lockdowns.
For sure. And then, everything went, and we had that break, you know?
Yeah.
So I had been, you know, I just have these notes on my phone where I write my lyrics, and I just have tons and tons of lyrics.
Yeah.
I had hanging out, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
waiting for something,
I
you know,
feel
and
it.
I had already kind of started a couple of the tracks, like Riot had been started and Long Way Home.
Okay.
Long Way Home had been started.
Yeah.
And that was, sorry, I keep moving away from the mic.
Oh, you good.
But that was basically where that kind of started. So then I got the break, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? And then we got through that first little bit of quarantine, and then people were like, okay. And I actually started a lot of projects then. I started.
Yeah. That's kind of the beautiful thing about the lockdowns is that a lot of artists had more time to work on stuff.
For sure, yeah. And that was actually when I started working with my buddy Adam, The Faces Blur, who's
Okay.
one of my good buddies that I did the Elemental EP with.
Okay.
That came out last April. So that's my other project, Seance, which is like
right. Yeah, I was
my
gonna
house
get into
techno
that.
project.
Yeah. So what came first, hip hop or your house techno?
Hip hop definitely came first. I mean, when I was a kid, I listened to all sorts of stuff.
Right. Yeah. What'd you listen to?
Oh man, I guess just to take it way far back, my first concert was Amy Grant.
Oh boy, I
You
don't know
who
about
that is?
that. Nah.
No? Oh man, you got to listen
I'm
to
a
some
little
Amy
oblivious
Grant,
sometimes.
man.
Okay.
Some Baby.
Bet.
She's give you some insight. She's,
Yeah.
She's a 90s
I
contemporary
Just don't know
Christian
her
pop
name.
artist.
Oh, word. Okay, my mom might be into her.
For sure. Yeah, your mom would probably know who she is. But yeah, so like that, you know, contemporary Christian pop artists were like what I kind of got
that's
into.
so
And then
interesting.
luckily, you know, I grew up in the 90s, so once Napster hit, I was like fifth grade, sixth grade, and I started figuring out how to get on the computer, and then it was all holds. It was like took the chains off. You know, once I found Napster, then I was downloading all sorts of stuff. Like I got really into Limp Bizkit, and like that whole wave of new metal, rap rock type stuff was really into that. I got hip hop influences, definitely like all the people that I think the guys in my genre would shout out, like 3-6 Mafia, of course, big into Lord Infamous, love him.
Word. Look into him.
The whole he was part of 3-6 Mafia in the beginning and helped start that whole wave.
Have you heard of Duke Deuce?
No, I haven't.
So he kind of takes on a similar sound as 3-6, and he's from Memphis too, I believe.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Super into Bone Thugs and Harmony too, of course. Like,
hell yeah.
I love the triplet flow and the harmonies. Like that's kind of like just the whole point of my project now is just to like, of course, have dope beats, and that's why I love working with, even though I can produce beats, like I feel like I'm just so busy doing all sorts of other things.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
time consuming.
not only living life.
Yeah, big facts.
But
big
like,
facts.
you know, writing lyrics and trying to get a lot of songs, like a repertoire, you know, get a discography going, and then, you know, all the things that come along with planning a project and planning a release, you know.
Yeah, so much behind than just the music itself.
Yeah, it's wild. So I've just kind of been slowly building a team right now.
Okay. I need that.
So I got a few producers that help me out. And,
and
I love producing hip hop. I've just kind of like, I fell in once I started producing in Ableton years ago. You know, I was trying to figure out what I could do, what came easy, and then eventually, I tried everything. I was in like a dubstep duo for a little while. I was in like, so cool. I did all sorts of stuff. You know? And when I started DJing like 10, 12 years ago, I actually started out DJing dubstep. And then slowly, as I think most bass music DJs do, they fall into house eventually. I didn't realize that. And honestly, with house, like, that's interesting. I was telling you earlier, I was in a country band for a while. I mean, I've been in punk bands, been in metal bands. Throughout my 20s, I was in a bunch of different bands. But yeah, so that's lit. I fell back into DJing, fell back in love with like hip hop. That came with that. I think house music and hip hop have a very natural relationship with each other. No, honestly. We were talking about G House before the interview. Yeah. Like, it's awesome. Like hearing hip hop vocals over house beats. It's like there's something that It just makes sense. You know what I mean?
That's what I've been trying to do with my mixing lately, and it's really cool hearing you say that. Like now I feel a little less crazy trying to do that.
No, man, I think you're right on it. I think you should continue to try that.
No doubt.
Yeah, you're onto something.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I really loved your song "You Don't Love Me." Like I said, just there's a whole lot of emotion in there, and just
Thanks,
it
man.
hits. You know, like it hits your emotions. It hits the listener's emotions, and that's something that I can really appreciate.
Nice.
How would you describe your music?
Like
for people that have never heard it before.
Yeah, I think like you said before, like vulnerability. I think when I started this project, I really wanted to highlight that and highlight the lyricism and make that like, and kind of behind the name Saint Michael is, I'm not a saint.
Yeah.
I make mistakes.
Big facts.
Right. So it's ironic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
yeah, kind of like a paradox, but like
yeah, for sure.
Still like you still have a history with Christianity.
True.
And so that's pretty cool too, how it just kind of all ties together in different ways.
For sure. Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't call myself Christian by any means at all. I am definitely agnostic.
Okay. I feel that.
Spirituality is a big thing. I think it's cool.
I'm right there with you.
Definitely something going on out there.
Right,
that we can't
that's
explain.
what I'm saying.
But I think, and we're getting off topic here. But,
no, that's cool.
Religion is definitely something that's been, messed with and used to control people.
Yeah,
and that's what's not cool about it.
I've been saying the same thing. Like I've been really trying to like piece stuff together. I've been studying different religions just to gain a better understanding of everything. And
it helps with perspective. I think that's like a big problem nowadays is that people don't have perspective.
Yeah,
they lack perspective and they lack empathy, and that's
facts.
That's something that I work on every day, having both of those things.
Yeah, honestly.
But
I love that.
And as far as my music goes, like I basically kind of fell into a collaboration relationship with you could definitely call it that, with two local producers. One is his name's Griffin. He goes by Monsters or Myth. He also does a lot of vocals on my stuff as well.
Okay.
And then I work with another guy named Austin. He goes by Crystals.
Yeah.
He's
nice.
Really dope bass music producers. Yeah. Oh, you got to. You got to keep those around.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's dope. Really, really talented guys that I just lucked out, becoming friends with, basically both of them actually through DJing.
Right.
And, fell into making music with them, and both of them have backgrounds making bass music and dubstep and hip hop too.
Yeah.
So with them, I was able to, get their, I think, let's see, You Don't Love Me was produced by Austin.
Okay.
Crystals. Let's see, I think 3 of the ones that are out now are by Austin and 2 were by Griffin. And then
dope.
Basically now we're all kind of working as a collective.
I love to shout out the producers and everyone behind the scenes too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of different hands that go into music.
Yeah, totally. And to that point, the Elemental EP that I did with The Faces Blur, he actually is a really awesome visual artist. And does a lot of 3D visuals.
I love that.
He has some dope NFTs out right now that you can definitely check out. He's great, and he does all like the cover art and stuff as a collaboration between me and him. And then I got my homie Nate Mesher, who does all my visuals. Nate Visuals, or all my media, so he does all my like photo and video content. There's always quite a few people, which is cool, that they're the homies. So
we feel that big community team.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole point is to be a team and succeed as a team. And I think that's kind of what you got to do in this business.
For real.
If you want to make it in any
stronger together.
facet.
Yeah. My motto, I'll say it at the end, like, we're stronger together. So show each other some love.
For sure. And with that being said, like the beats, it's something that at first I wasn't like super concerned with like the vibe, other than like I knew I trusted Austin and Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
synergy.
this is kind of like, obviously I'm influenced by all the like wild alternative, super hype hip hop that's out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole emo rap genre is definitely a big influence on me.
I've been playing a lot of that lately. I actually just had a Valentine's set, and I played like pretty much like emo hip hop.
Nice.
It's like
hell yeah,
kind of like a F Valentine's playlist.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome. But yeah, so as far as the beats, I'm influenced by a lot of what's out today. Like Ghost Main, Suicide Boys.
Bro, Ghost Main?
Yes. Yeah.
I just played him yesterday.
He's so good.
I played oh no, I got mixed up. I was thinking of Lil Ugly Mane, but
also awesome.
Yeah. I played Underwater Tank yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I keep cussing.
No, you can say hell actually. You can say hell,
word.
ass, bitch, hoe.
Oh, word. Hell, ass, bitch, hoe. Sweet.
Yeah, you're
Sweet.
good. You're good.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Mom. No, my parents know that this project is wild.
Yeah, that's what's
it's
up.
Fine.
They listen to your music?
Yeah. They're super supportive actually. They probably don't like how much I talk about the devil.
Sure.
But it's art. It's expression,
Yeah, no, big facts. And
But
like
yeah.
the fact that they come from Christian roots and they're still open to listen to your music and support you, that's pretty beautiful.
Totally. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, actually I want to ask you, do you look for a beat first and then write your lyrics or put lyrics to it, or do you write the lyrics first then find the beat? Kind of like chicken or
Good
the
question.
egg.
Yeah. And the easy answer is both.
Yeah.
That's the short answer.
Yeah, or both.
Which is fun, that's like the 2 EPs that I'm working on right now are examples of finding the beat first, because those are actually 2 separate producers. One EP is, which is cool. I actually linked up with a couple of really dope producers. One is from, I think, Quebec, Canada. Sorry if I got that wrong. Shout out VE Beats.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I linked up with them through, and this is all through Instagram, which has been cool.
Yeah.
And them finding me on Spotify.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is also really cool.
Do you know how they found you?
Playlists, man.
Yeah? Okay, tough.
Which is wild. Like another thing, like I've, struggled with, because, there's so much pay to play stuff out there, and you really got to be careful. I mean, I've gotten hit with like where I've paid someone to get on a few playlists, and then it's like obvious that it's BS.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've like legit like emailed people and been like, give me your cell, I need to call you. Like I've called people before and been like, stop what you're doing, because it'll ruin your algorithm.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get caught doing that, because you can get a nice little red flag with Spotify, and
for real
in the future they might not put your stuff on.
So if the artist pays someone to put their song on a playlist, that's the red flag for the artist?
No, so there's a lot, like one way right now is paying to get on playlists, and people still do like where you will pay and they still go through like a review process. Like they're not just gonna like, you can't just like pay, and most of them are pay to get on a playlist, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do that, but there's still like a review process. The problem is when you can tell it's fake, because you don't want fake ones, and there are fake ones out there, and that's what you got to be careful.
Okay.
Because if you pay a fake one and say like, it's pretty easy to see it, like your plays will start going through the roof, like thousands, like real quick, or hundreds, whatever, real quick. And that can happen. Don't get me wrong, but you got to get on the right playlist. Like it's not just going to be some like, there's some. I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I get real nerdy about it.
About that,
but most of them are, and even the ones I might be selling Spotify out right now, but we all know Spotify's in the news for all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I've even heard that like their editorial ones can be like, even the Spotify, like even they will make you pay for it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, totally.
I had no idea.
So, I mean, that's kind of, that's getting deeper and deeper into the music industry. You kind of find out, like, it's pretty wild. You know,
no
if you,
doubt.
it's lots of, it can cost a whole lot of money
Right.
real quick. You could just be throwing your money into the fire if you're not careful.
For real.
But that's
game, though.
the thing about
Knowledge.
playlists is like you'll see like random towns that
Yeah.
you're like, wait, some random island just listened to my song 2,000 times. Like, I don't think that happened. You know what I mean? Because they'll have like those like the, I don't know what exactly they call them, like phone farms or something, or click farms or something. Where it's wild, man. But so I've definitely like come across some stuff. So you just got to be careful when you're doing that kind of stuff. Like,
for sure.
I definitely don't.
Pro tip.
Yeah, for sure. Facts. You know,
Appreciate you putting that knowledge out there for the people.
definitely.
Do you have any music videos? I had a hard time finding your YouTube channel, if you have one, or do you have any plans for
Yeah,
the future?
YouTube is something that I've been definitely like focusing a lot more on Spotify and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like my main goal lately is just to get on one of those nice big Spotify editorial playlists.
Right.
Um,
You got the sound for it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. So that's kind of what I've been gunning for right now, and then that, and just like growing my Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to do that organically is tough.
Crazy how essential Instagram is to like business.
For sure. And if you have them, you know, set up the right way, that and your Spotify can help it.
Yeah.
It can help each other, you know?
Yeah, honestly.
So that's kind of why I haven't really been focusing quite on YouTube yet.
Sure.
I've got a couple of, I think we actually, did we just do one? I think we just did one. We have a little video me and Griffin did for Giving Up, and that was with Monsters or Myth.
Okay.
And we recorded that in the basement of the Fruit, which is
Tough.
great.
Love the Fruit.
Yeah, shout out the Fruit.
Yeah, for
Great
real.
place. So yeah, and you know, we just like kind of messed around and we're trying it out. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think if you just search St. Michael of Durham,
Yeah.
you can find the YouTube channel.
Bet,
But there's definitely a
bet.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
I just haven't really. I think I've got like 3 followers on there or something,
Yeah.
because I haven't really messed with it at all.
Yeah, I feel that. YouTube's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
That algorithm's
And
different.
music videos are another beast too. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan is definitely to do some more music videos.
Yeah,
but,
that's one of those things that you really need a good team for too.
Yeah,
if
for
you want the
sure.
production.
For sure. Yeah, I want to be able to get a director and, you know, pay someone
Yeah, that's tough.
to do it the right way, and it can, and actually have like a, not just me like standing there in a field or something.
And that plays into that local
Yeah.
arts economy too. You know, we're putting money into each other's pockets at the end of the day, keeping the dollar within the community.
Absolutely. And there's a whole lot of really cool video directors out there that are in the area. You know?
Yeah, no
There's a lot
doubt.
of cool people.
So we're gonna take a break real quick, and I'm gonna play y'all one of my favorites by St. Michael, "You Don't Love Me." We'll be right back.
You said you don't love me no more. Got me feeling straight rotten to the core. You said you don't love me no more. Tossed out face down, just lying on the floor. see me now, cut you out, call me a savage. I chopped you like a bad habit. Wish you could see me now, but I had to cut you out. You can call me a savage. I chopped you like a bad habit. You said you don't love me no more. Got me feeling straight rotten to the core. You said you don't love me no more. Tossed out face down, just lying on the floor. I said thanks for the memories. I traded you for a melody. I mixed the ace with the Hennessy. Still feels like you're right next to me, 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 next to me.
And we are back. Again, I am DJ Whippopatomus, and I'm still with...
Saint Michael.
Yes, sir. So I want to talk about performances. Do you perform? And when was your last show?
So, yes, I do perform, and I plan on having some performances hopefully this spring and summer.
Okay.
Nothing's booked yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
yeah, I
Excited
actually
about energy.
I have not done a St. Michael show yet.
For real?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's exciting then.
Yeah,
so
for
like
sure.
your first show is going to be like crazy.
I hope so.
Just-
Yeah. I'm trying
debuting.
to. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's some stuff in the works. I've got some plans.
I bet.
It's all just brainstorming right now, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully, probably do something at the Fruit. Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's the spot right
Yeah,
now
those
for
are my
real.
stomping grounds for
Mm.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then, or the Pinhook. Pinhook's
How-
also one of my old stomping
right,
grounds. So
right. Yeah.
love
Yeah, shout
both
out
of
to
those
them.
places.
I love to support the show to local community, local artists.
Definitely. Yeah, they're a big part of it.
How long has the Fruit been around? 'Cause You're a Durham
man.
OG, right? You know.
Yeah,
these
at
things.
least a few years. Yeah.
Okay, a few years.
Yeah. It was actually, what's cool about that space is that it used to, the address is 305 South Dillard.
Right.
And years ago, back in ancient times when I was in high school,
In Houston?
no, actually, I went to high school here here in the Triangle.
Nice.
Yeah, it was called 305 South, and it was actually a music venue. I'm not going to get the
Word.
years right.
Hmm.
But yeah, shout out James Lee, because he was awesome back in the day. Don't know where you are, dude, but you killed it back in the day. He had a studio in there. He recorded some high school bands of mine, was super about the community, did all sorts of stuff for nothing,
Right.
just for the love of it, which was cool. But one side of it, do you know the side that's the black box, like the theater side?
Nah.
So there's
I've been in there, but I don't
there's
really know.
three main rooms.
Mm-hmm.
There's the basement, and then there's
Yeah.
the main
That's
room
great.
where the big bar is, and then there's a side room upstairs
Yeah.
that they call the black box.
I've been upstairs.
But the black box there is where the venue side of 305 South was, and then
Word.
where they have the main room upstairs
Yeah.
was his wife's vintage clothing store.
Oh man. Yeah.
and it
I
was
love that.
dope. It was super dope.
Right.
Unfortunately, it didn't last that long,
Mhm.
but like I said, I had high school bands that played
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
recorded there with his stuff, and
That's a deep take or deep cut.
yeah,
whatever
for
it is.
sure. So now 10-ish years later, 10,
Mhm.
15 years later,
Still
I'm
facilitating
playing
that
and throwing
energy.
shows there, and,
Yeah.
and it's back to being the Fruit. And I want to say it was 2015, 2016 when they were getting
Sure.
started.
Okay.
And of course, it's gotten much better over the years, and
Right.
every year it gets better. But yeah, it's been cool. I've been throwing parties there for a couple years now. I help run an events company called Morning Choir.
Yeah,
out of
I
Durham.
actually was just about to ask you about that. Yeah, what's up with Morning Choir?
Yeah, so we're just a small Durham-based events company that has been focused in like the house techno EDM
Right.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we mainly throw shows at the Fruit, but we are partners in shows all throughout the Triangle.
Oh yeah.
Do stuff in Raleigh, mainly Raleigh and Durham, mainly Durham.
Where do you go in Raleigh with them?
We partner in shows with Alchemy. We've done shows at
Okay.
Lincoln Theater.
Nice.
Yeah, so kind of like we do some co-promotion there, and then we do our own shows at the Fruit.
Okay.
But yeah, we have
Is it kind of like a electronic collective type of thing?
yeah, I mean, I would call it definitely like an events company first and foremost.
Word,
but
okay.
but yeah, I mean, we kind of
sure.
specialize in that, and we definitely
Yeah.
are about the community, and
I love
you know,
that.
we've been living here. Everybody that's involved with the company has been living in the area or in Durham for years.
Yeah, and I appreciate you
calls it
offering me
home.
the opportunity to work with y'all too.
Oh, for
I
sure,
really
man.
would have loved to. Like that.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
have been perfect. But yeah, I'm moving back home to Virginia Beach.
Oh, I hear you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I love
I
that
graduate
area.
this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, trying to get through it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's really cool.
I've been hella busy lately.
I feel that. But yeah, so, you know, hopefully we'll be getting into doing different genres
Okay,
here coming up soon.
love to hear it.
Got
yeah.
some stuff in the works that I
Okay.
can't really
I can't
talk
wait.
about
Sure,
yet.
sure.
But some stuff that I think
Yeah.
one show in particular I think you'll enjoy.
Okay,
Maybe we'll talk about it after the
bet.
after the mics are off.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd definitely be keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah, but you know, and shout out if anybody you know, come find me on Instagram if you want to get into it, because
Thanks.
you know, I'm always looking for like-minded people that want to get more involved
I
in
love that.
the music community.
Yeah,
And really, you know, like I said, it's that company in particular has been pretty EDM focused, but
mm-hmm.
you know, obviously with the kind of music I'm into and
Mhm.
right, I definitely want to bring more house, and I'm really into just any
Yeah, we
or
need that
excuse
out
me,
here.
more hip hop, more house.
Yeah,
Both
yeah,
of them,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean. I
I'm
want to start
excited.
bringing hip hop artists and into Durham specifically.
Yeah.
Um,
There's so many artists out here. Like it's insane. Like learning
It's
about
super
what
cool.
you're doing, and like every time I interview someone, like it's almost like they have their own group that's doing their own thing. And it's just there's so many
Definitely.
moving parts right now.
for sure, there's so many good people.
Mhm.
A lot of people that it, like, you know, it's kind of wild. You never know like who's thinking about working with you, because
Yeah.
I mean, I got my lists,
Right.
and
Okay.
I got my list of homies.
Yeah, we all see
in
each
the
other.
area, you know,
Mhm.
and my list of like people that I kind of know. That
I mean,
I'm
like a lot of people
"Ooh."
go through the Fruit too.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago, I actually met a lot of people working at different places. Like I used to work at Pinhook.
Mm-hmm.
I worked
Nice.
I worked at Quarter Horse for a while.
Yeah.
I bartended all over
Okay.
all over Durham for most of my 20s.
How
And
was that?
good?
What's it like being a
Good.
bartender?
Oh man, well, luckily I got out of it before the pandemic started, because
Right,
I wouldn't have
yeah.
wanted to
Oh
be
my
in that
God.
right now at all. Shout out all the service workers. 'Cause
Yeah, facts.
Oof.
Essential work.
Service industry, man. Wow.
Mhm. For real.
Getting rocked hard right now. But
No doubt.
I love bartending when I did it, man.
Yeah, is it fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But once I found my exit, I ran.
Yeah. I understand that. You ever have to break up any bar fights?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Hell
yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I have been,
That's funny.
you name it, it's happened.
Yeah. So, could we talk about your work with Live Nation?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Bet.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. What do you do with them?
Right now I'm a production manager.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm over at the Ritz. I'm one of the production managers over
Word.
there.
What does
So,
that entail?
Oh man, anything and everything to do with what's on stage.
Right.
So we advance the show,
That's
which
pretty
is
dope.
just like, you know,
That's mad.
a lot of
interesting,
emailing.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of coordination.
Yeah, for sure. A lot
Like
of
working with
coordination.
artists, managers, and
Yeah,
things like that.
specifically working with like tour managers and
Okay.
touring production
Right,
managers.
right.
Yeah,
I love that. That's
which is cool. It's definitely
hella
taught me a
interesting.
lot. Working at the Ritz has been awesome.
Yeah.
I love it there.
what brought you to that career path? How did you get there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, starting off with, I've been with morning choir for a little while.
Mhm.
I help I'm one of the co-founders of that company.
Right.
And anyways, yeah, sorry.
No, you're
Lost
good.
my train of thought.
No, I feel good.
Maybe shouldn't have eaten that gummy. Just kidding. Anyways, but yeah, so it's been great, and getting to this path it's kind of wild looking back, and you know, a lot of just like grunt work, man.
Yeah.
A lot of grunt work.
Yeah,
I have done every grunt job that you could possibly think of.
Right.
You know, whether it be, you know, starting in the restaurant industry, doing shows, you know. It's kind of funny. I joke about it, but I mean, I was like in second, third grade doing like little productions in my living room for my family.
That's so dope.
Like at Thanksgiving and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like it goes way back. My love for music goes way back to childhood, you know, whether I think regardless of whether
That's a
you know,
big part of a lot of artist story.
yeah. And, you know, I think even without my parents actually being musical people, their love for music definitely got passed down.
Right.
And I think my whole family even extended family had a love for music in some way. I had an uncle that was a DJ for a little while when he was in college, and he lived with us for a little while when I was a kid, and that rubbed off a little bit when I was a kid. And, you know,
That's dope.
So yeah, it's been a long time coming.
So as you mentioned, you were born in Houston. How long did you live there? 'Cause Houston's got mad culture.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'd love to go back there and hang out sometime because it's been a minute. And
Yeah,
usually,
you got people out there?
Not in Houston specifically, but like I have a lot of extended family that's just like scattered throughout Texas.
Right.
In and around Austin. I got a
Nice.
bunch of folks in Corpus Christi on the coast.
Oh, yeah.
People in San Antonio.
One of my favorite Houston rappers is Maxo Cream.
Oh, love him.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
he's
been
dope.
banging his last album for a minute now.
I think he's coming through Charlotte soon, actually.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I think he's coming through Charlotte this spring.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I think they just
For
announced
real?
that tour.
Okay,
Which
they
would be
did.
dope. Yeah, I might have to go out to
Whoa.
Charlotte for that one.
For real.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorites right now.
Yeah. But
let's get into that actually. Actually, I didn't let you finish your question. Yeah, how long did you live in Houston?
yeah, I'll touch on that, and I wanted to go back and touch on the other thing too, because I feel like I keep going off on tangents and not completely answering what you're saying.
It's all good.
I was not in Houston for too long. When I was a kid, we moved around Texas. Like I said, big family in Texas.
Yeah.
So I lived in San Marcos, which is near Austin. Lived near Houston. So I actually moved away from there when I was like 8-9 years old. And I've been living in the Triangle since then.
Word.
So
yeah, so you pretty much been here your whole
24
life.
years. Yeah, most of my life. Yeah, all my formative years. But yeah, getting to that career has been a long path, and
right.
I got into getting, you know, the Ritz by basically promoting EDM shows.
Yeah, okay.
So I was promoting a show there in like I think late 2015, early 2016.
What does it mean to promote a show?
Yeah, so I mean, it could be all types of things, but a lot of times you have national promoters, like it could be anyone from a Live Nation to Disco Donnie to gosh, there's all types of them.
Yeah.
Steez promos, one of them up north. But you partner with local people, and those are your local promoters, and that was like what I did.
Okay, I see.
Right?
I see.
So I had like my local street team of people, so we would do stuff on the ground, like flyer shows, you know, after the show, you know, we were the people that were out in the parking lot passing out flyers, you know, to the next show, being the annoying people. Yeah, a lot of guerrilla marketing.
Right.
Not so much of that anymore. A lot of it's digital now, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing, you know, we do digital ads, we do you know, we have Facebook and all the socials pages, promote on all of those. And then what my company also does is we run the events as well. So we get the production all set.
Yeah. Y'all
coordinate with
y'all
the
do
artists.
everything, yeah. That's
so
cool.
it's kind of everything rolled into one. It started off with just doing the promotion side of it, which is really marketing, you know. And then it got more into actually running the events. But that's how I got my foot in the door at the Ritz. And then,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
fast forward 2 years, a job opening came up, and I happened to get it.
That's dope.
So,
Yeah, that's a
but
really
I mean,
cool job.
it even took, you know, I was bugging the people there.
Yeah.
You know, seeing.
Gotta grind.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people don't get it. You know, if you really want something, you gotta continue to work at it and bug them until you get the chance.
Yeah, I feel you. That's kind of what I'm going through right now with my internship, trying to find the right spot for me to learn a lot and yeah, trying to get my foot in the door. I feel you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you were raised in Durham. What's high school like, or what was high school like for you?
Oh man, school was definitely like I said, I got really rebellious.
Yeah, I feel you.
I didn't finish.
Okay.
I got my GED.
Look where you're at now.
I know, right? You know, school wasn't for me at the time, you know. I look back and, you know, of course, you always look back and you think, oh, man, I could have done that differently.
Yeah.
Oh, man, maybe I should have stuck it out. But at the time, it was the decision that I wanted to make, and I still stand by it because, you know, I actually went, I won't say the name of it, but I went to high school in Hillsborough, and
Okay.
I had an awful experience.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the teachers got me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah,
you know, of course, my favorite class was creative writing, and that was the class I got an A in.
Okay.
Every other class I probably slept through.
Did your teacher like your writing?
No.
Would she still give you an A, or he or she?
They would still give me an A, though.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So it was that good. They didn't like it, but they still gave you an A.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think it would be really hard to get a bad grade in
okay.
creative writing, I think. Especially that creative writing class. I mean, I guess I'm not giving myself that much credit there, am I? But no, yeah, at school, I got out of there as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And started working, and
Okay.
I think a couple weeks after I left, the band I was in at the time went on like a 2-week tour, and I thought I was going to be a rock star, and then, you know, life happens.
Yeah, facts.
Obviously, not a rock star. But,
Pretty close.
yeah, you know.
Once you get on that stage, we'll see.
Right. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a long road, but it's good to be where I am now, and I've worked my ass off to get here.
Yeah, love to see it.
I think it's finally kind of everything's getting to where it needs to be.
Yeah,
So,
falling in place.
yeah, it feels good.
I feel that. So I like to ask a few questions just to help get to know the person that's behind the art. And there's just different kind of goofy questions, but how would you describe your sense of fashion? I really love fashion.
Yeah, same. I think, you know, being a hip hop artist or an artist at all, you know, it's
exactly.
a big, to at least have some kind of sense of fashion is good.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy fashion. You know, I'm not someone that, I definitely know more than the average person, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm into like Adidas. Love Adidas.
Okay.
Shout out Adidas.
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
need me to shout them out. But maybe one day I'll get a check.
Facts.
Would love that.
Hashtag not a sponsor, but who knows?
Right. You never know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely brand loyal to Adidas for sure.
Okay.
Love Adidas shoes. Love Adidas bags, crossbody bags.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, fashion's dope. I mean, it's a way to express yourself. It's something to put on your body that you chose.
Yeah, it's
you
an
know?
expression.
Absolutely. I love like being comfortable, like mad comfortable. I think if you could see me now, listeners, I'm in slides and really comfy socks, and I'm in like really comfortable leggings with really comfortable shorts, and I'm in a hoodie and I have a beanie. I'm just mad comfortable.
What's Happy Machine?
Happy Machine. I got this last night actually.
Oh, for real?
I worked Dylan Francis and Young Gravy last night.
Oh,
which
damn.
was dope.
Yeah.
And
they were in
gave me a
town
hoodie.
yesterday?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they played the Ritz last night.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was a show. Yeah, everybody, like some of these shows that it got rescheduled.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean? Like people are just like, what?
So they've been waiting for a while for it?
sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And it was pretty much sold out. It was packed in there.
Yeah.
It was cool though. It was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out those guys. They were really super nice. which you don't always get, which is,
Right. Yeah, that is interesting.
yeah.
Interesting dynamic between artists and
Yeah,
teams
totally,
that are playing
totally.
together.
For sure.
Another question I like to ask, and a lot of people go crazy for this one, but what's your favorite place to eat around here? Just in the Triangle, local.
Oof.
It can be a local chain, but not a national chain or anything like that.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm gonna go fancy.
Okay.
Because I was just there this past weekend because they reopened, but St. James in Durham is my
Word.
spot. It's
St. Michael at St. James.
Right. It's not just because of that. I promise. No, yeah, that's a great local chain of a bunch of different restaurants like Mateo and Vin Rouge. all
Okay.
those
Yeah, what type of food
OG
is it?
Durham spots. Seafood,
Oh, okay.
real dope seafood. Yeah, they do
Word.
this.
I'll check that out.
do
I'm
this
always looking for new
baked
places.
crab dip. That's like
Yo. Damn.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Making me
if
hungry
you
now.
want to take your lady out on a good date.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I stay in Durham too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great cocktails too. Yeah,
Word.
that's probably my favorite restaurant, like
Okay.
for sure right now.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Are you a cat person, dog person, or do you prefer another pet entirely?
I love animals.
Yeah.
So right now I do not have a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife have 2 dogs.
Okay.
Tilly and Winnie.
Hell yeah.
They're super tough.
Yeah.
Winnie is a 10-pound mini dachshund.
Okay. Yeah.
Super cute and very, very, just
My dog loves Dachshunds.
Yeah.
And she's a bigger dog, but she likes smaller dogs.
nice. Winnie might beat her ass.
Yeah. No, I feel it. She always.
Not really. Her bark is louder than her bite, for sure.
Right. She tends to get her ass beat.
Nice.
Especially by
nice.
smaller dogs. She feels like
That's so funny.
she's just so goofy and excited to walk up to any dog, and so she will. And sometimes they'll snap at her, and she gets her feelings hurt.
Yeah, no, Winnie is the queen of the house for sure.
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, I'm just an animal person. I not super big on like reptiles, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny because that's not like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I can come across as this like super tough persona, but I'm not really that way. Once you get to know me, definitely like a teddy bear.
Right.
Definitely super soft on the inside, hard on the outside,
Love
soft
it.
on the inside.
Right.
But I'd love to get a cat. I grew up with cats and dogs.
Okay.
And I actually had at one point we had, before I moved from Texas, we had like a pony, a couple rabbits, like bunch of cats,
Wow,
a few
yeah,
dogs.
yeah, you had a lot of.
We had quite a few, and then we decided we wanted to move up to North Carolina and got rid of most of them. But
Right.
but for a moment there, I had a lot of animals. But I'd like to get that way again.
Yeah, I feel that.
I like cats and dogs, but right now,
Yeah, I love them
100%
both.
dogs.
I'm more
I
of
had
a
to
cat
choose a
person.
side.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I side on the cat side. I have a cat and a dog. But yeah, I feel like cats are a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more misunderstood. And I appreciate that. And their personalities are just like different than dogs, like completely.
Oh,
And,
for
like,
sure.
Like dogs do have distinct different personalities, but like I don't know, cats are almost like people sometimes.
Definitely, and they're way more independent.
Yeah, exactly.
I love my dogs, but they couldn't survive more than a day.
No, for
No.
real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A cat, I remember we had a sister and a brother set of cats when I was a kid,
Oh.
and in Texas, and they
Mhm.
moved with us.
Nice.
But anyways, they would go off for days
Yeah.
because we lived out in the country at one point. and
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
They would just be gone for like a whole weekend, and they
Yeah.
would come back,
Oh yeah.
chill. Okay, cool, yeah.
No, I've left my cat for up to a week before. We leave him
Wow.
plenty of
Yeah.
food, water. We have a camera that we can shoot treats to him,
Nice.
talk to
That's
him.
awesome.
A little laser.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of my bosses has one of the the laser. You just
Mhm.
said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my bosses has that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Yeah. So to my next question, I like to ask this because every artist has a different answer, and I feel like it provides more insight into how y'all operate. How many hours of sleep do you usually get?
Yeah. Sleep is sometimes my friend, but mostly my enemy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's never enough hours in the day to do what you want to do.
Yeah,
you know?
for real.
Especially when you're, a starving artist that has to keep a day job.
No, for real.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of late nights. I think a lot of times my creativity is very sporadic. So like that's why I keep notes in my phone.
Yeah.
Like I can get, and that's why I answered your question earlier about like what comes first, the beat or the lyrics. It's like, it could be either or, because, I could be taking a break at work or like, doing a load in or whatever, and something pops in my head, because that happens from time to time, and just a hook or something will pop in my head, or a bar. And then other times I'll get a beat pack from a homie.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to it, and usually if I like the beat, something will come up like pretty quickly.
Word. That's tough. Oh yeah. So wait, how many hours sleep do you usually get?
Did you see? Sorry, there's a mic on that one.
No,
you see how I
good.
went away from that question? I've been doing that all day.
It's all good.
Yeah, I try to get 6 to 8, at least 6.
Yeah,
if I can. But I've gone on 2-3 hours.
Oh yeah, for
before,
sure.
But I try to get 6. If I can.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's usually 6 or 8, but yeah, it doesn't always happen.
I've been getting 8 lately. I actually got like less sleep today and feel like a lot better. So.
It's interesting how that works, right?
I know.
You hit that like perfect point.
It's so. I'm trying to figure it out still. Like sometimes I try to like get less sleep, and sometimes it'll work. It always happens when I'm not trying to.
Absolutely.
And usually like after I'm like drinking, like a night after drinking, like I feel refreshed. Like I don't have a lot of hangovers.
Nice. You're lucky. Hold on to that.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, so is there anything else you want to let the listeners know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess wow. I did want to shout out some people.
Yeah. Go for it.
Obvious Juice Lord, shout out.
Yes,
Love Juice.
I interviewed Juice last year. It was a great.
Yeah,
he's so much fun.
Not only a ridiculous, awesome artist, but an awesome person.
No, for real.
My homie Tennis Rodman. Got to shout out Tennis.
Okay, yeah.
It's also the homie.
I know you're talking.
Hopefully about to get some features from them pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, word.
Hint, hint.
Okay.
Calling y'all out on the radio.
Yo.
No, they're the homies. But yeah, I mean, and yeah, speaking of people that are just like carving out their own lanes,
Right.
those two are wild right now, putting out some wild stuff.
No,
So,
for real.
And then, Austin Crystals, you can find him on Spotify. Definitely. Crystals, XTALS. I hope he's embarrassed by me shouting him out like this. And then, Monsters Are Myth, Griffin, The Faces Blur. Yeah, those are all the homies. And then my new homies, Vay Beats out of Canada, and then Anvil out of LA.
Oh, yeah.
Anvil's dope. He's actually with the GBC boys, Goth Boy Clique.
Oh, word.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. So anyways, those are all the homies that I've been working with
Right.
getting into working with,
For sure.
and that I wanted to shout out before we left.
That's exciting.
And yeah, lots of music coming out. I'll have a new one. I just put out one called Fake Friends this past Monday.
For Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah. It's a nice one. Nice little hint. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, that one could be about pretty much anyone. I'll let y'all figure that out.
Post.
Yeah, that was fun, right? I was like, oh man, yeah, I like this. Yes. But yeah, anyways, I dropped that one. That was a single I was sitting on for like a year or two, honestly. It's been ready for so long.
Nice.
The next one's called Why Ask Why. That one will be out in April.
Word, okay. You heard it here.
Thanks. Yeah, and hopefully I'm gonna have a cool music video for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dope.
Yeah, so you can find me at St. Michael of Durham, across every social you can think of. Haven't gotten into TikTok yet, but just give me a moment. It's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, St. Michael of Durham on all socials. Hit me up.
You got St. Michael. What about Seance?
Oh,
That's how you
yeah.
say it, right?
And then Seance, that's Seance Music 666, also across every social that you can think of.
And the choir.
And Morning Choir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can I find that on Instagram?
Yeah, that's going to be at Morning Choir. That one's easy.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you'll find us at the Fruit the first 2 weekends in March.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, we got some dope shows coming up.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Yeah, you already know. And I want to thank everyone that's listening right now. You can check out the interview I did with Juice Lord and other local artists at WKNC.org/podcast and click on Off the Record. I am DJ Whippopatomus, and I was here with
St. Michael
on WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. I'm going to send y'all off with another single by St. Michael called Riot Part 1. Don't forget, we are stronger together, so show each other some love. Y'all be easy.
Pepper spray is being dispersed. Yep, the police are retreating. They are moving back. This was absolute utter madness. There are dozens and dozens of media streaming this live. You know, if they thought that the police were out of favor with the people, this has just taken it to the next level.
St. Michael, protect us. Don't hide it. Start a riot. Don't fight it. Start a riot. Don't deny it. You should try it. Start a riot. Start a riot. Found a cure for my depression. Call it Smith & Wesson. I just wanna die so I can teach my demons lessons. Wading through my mind, it's like a fucking sea of lies. Thoughts of suicide. All the time. I wanna die in a fire of my own regret. Let the flames rise higher till there's nothing left. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let it be known that I just don't give a never trust. I'm in the back, blowing off the space dust. Go get your man's before he gets his ass cut. Hop on the mic and start a riot. Don't hide it, start a riot. Don't fight it, start a riot. Don't deny it, you should try it. Start a riot, start a riot. Eat the rich, bitch. It's like bitch, click. Use a voice, say the about my business. Lord as my witness. Trigger finger itching. Switchblade in my pocket, cut you like a pig on Christmas. The rich stay rich, the poor stay poor. You call it life, I call it war. The rich stay rich, the poor stay poor. You call it life, I call it war. Don't hide it, start a riot. Don't fight it, start a riot. Don't deny it, you should try it. Start a riot, start a riot. Don't hide it, start a riot. Don't fight it, start a riot. Don't deny it, you should try it. Start a riot, start a riot. St. Michael.
You are unlawfully assembled. You need to disperse immediately or you will be subject to arrest. Do it now.